Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is JGOD. In today's video, we're going to focus on the top 5 perks available currently in Black Ops 4. And I'd love to know your guys' thoughts down in the comment section below, what your opinions are before you started watching this video, and if they change by the end of it. And if at any point you do enjoy the video or find it helpful, please remember to hit that like button. Let's see if we can get this video over 1,000 likes like we've been doing on a lot of the previous videos. If you're brand new to the channel and you'd like to find your way back, because you're looking to improve at Call of Duty or you like the content in some way, please remember to hit that red subscribe button, turning it to gray with notifications on by ringing that bell. So we'll start off the list with an honorable mention. I think the first honorable mention that we need to start off with is Scavenger. And I think more often than not, especially for really good players, I think they rank this perk a lot higher because without Scavenger in most Call of Duties and in general, you're not going to be able to go on a very long streak without picking up someone's weapon. And since most people have no clue what the heck they're doing when it comes to create a class, they end up having pretty bad classes, so it's almost not even worth it to pick up another person's weapon to begin with. And the main reason it drops out of the top 5 within Black Ops 4 is because it can be replaced with a specialist known as Crash. And it is one of the few perks that specialists can actually replace. So that's enough about Scavenger. Let's go ahead and work into the top 5 on this list. And the first thing I'm going to go ahead and talk about at that number 5 slot is going to be Ghost. And why Ghost makes the list is for a couple of different reasons. One is if you're not really a good player, this is going to be your best opportunity to get a kill on a good player because you'll be able to flank them. They won't see you on the UAV while they have them in the air. And on the flip side of that, if you happen to join a match late, the enemies are calling in a bunch of UAVs, your team isn't really supporting you by calling in counters or anything like that, you're going to be able to throw on Ghost. Even though it is kind of a weaker version of Ghost because it does require movement for it to be active, you will be able to get those flanks pulled off even with a constant rolling UAV. So that one really gets ranked at number 5 because it can help the little bit lower skilled players that's used to getting streaked on and that really good player that's used to carrying people that are used to getting streaked on. So either way, it kind of has its niche. And 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to have it on my creative class unless I'm in that specific scenario where I mentioned that I'm literally carrying the entire team and the enemy team will not stop with the UAVs. And the next perk we'll go ahead and talk about is Dexterity. This one's more of an honorable mention. It does not make my top 5 list, but the reason why I wanted it included is because this is the number 1 perk used by professional players. And there is a little thing that I've already done a video on where you can literally break your opponent's aim assist on console. So in addition to being able to break someone's aim assist, you're also able to get to cover that much quicker. So if you're fighting someone, you can kind of slide around a corner. Whereas if you didn't have Dexterity, you wouldn't be able to have that additional movement. Also, if you're trying to get around the map, Dexterity is a good way to go. I know sometimes people go with Lightweight, but Dexterity beats out Lightweight every time there's obstacles in the way. So in addition to those two things, another thing that Dexterity helps with is the sliding mechanic. You slide faster and further, so if you kind of come into a room, someone's kind of pre-aiming that doorway, you could slide into the doorway and they will not be able to track you, especially if they're on a little bit lower sense, which is especially great for SMG users and pretty much anyone really good at hip firing, because as you come around the corner, you can center and hit them with a few shots before you finish them off. And one other side note when it comes to Dexterity is a lot of times people will bring up the accuracy thing. I went ahead and tested it. Exclusive Ace, which is a very prominent individual who tests tons of things within the community, and we both pretty much came to the same conclusion, and that is that it does not help with any kind of accuracy. Whether you're jumping, sliding, mantling, anything, there's no additional accuracy gained from running Dexterity. So actually one of my favorite perks taking the number 4 spot is Dead Silence. A while ago when I went ahead and ranked the perks, I put Dead Silence a little bit higher because Acoustic Sensor was way stronger. But as the game has gone on and had several updates, they've continued to nerf the Acoustic Sensor again and again and again. So Dead Silence isn't quite as useful as it used to be, but I can guarantee you if you run up against someone using Acoustic Sensor and you are not running Dead Silence, you're going to be pre-aimed a bunch and you're going to wonder, how the heck do they know where I am? Well, that's why. Dead Silence can actually counter those situations. So majority of my class setups include Dead Silence for that reason. And that doesn't even include my favorite part. The favorite part of actually running Dead Silence is not having to hear my own footsteps. They are incredibly loud when you move around the map. A lot of times it makes it very hard to hear what's going on around in the environment. And I know there's a ton of people that run Dead Silence for that reason alone. So now we're going to go ahead and work on the number 3 ranked perk on my list, and that is Gung Ho. And I think most people understand that it reduces your sprint out time even if they don't 100% understand what sprint out time is. And for the most part, most of you guys will get the benefit of using this because you're going to have that faster sprint out time. But if you actually know how to abuse this particular perk, you can reduce your sprint out time to 0. I do have a little short video on the mechanics of how that works. If you guys are unfamiliar with how to get a 0 sprint out time, feel free to check out that video. It will be linked in the description. And without further ado, let's get into the top 2 perks. And here's the part of the video where I'm going to show you how broken these particular perks are. And in some scenarios, it might even be worth it to run perk 1 Greed so you can run Scavenger, Flak Jacket, and Tactical Mask. So number 2 is going to be Tactical Mask because of all the ways that it can help you stay alive. So first off, it's going to save you from concussions, or at least the effects of concussions are going to be significantly reduced. Also, when we get into 9 bangs, you have a significantly reduced effect there as well. And when someone uses 0 ZMP grenades, you see 0 effect. It also helps to reduce the effects from being hacked by the ice pick by about 50%. It'll drop it from 30 seconds right around down to about 15, which is very noticeable in game. It will also help out with Prophet's Shock Cart. You don't have to spam square when you get hit by that. It'll automatically cut that animation down as fast as possible. Also, when you get hit with the Tempest, you're going to get that reduced effect. You'll be able to get up and it won't do quite as much damage. It'll also make it so you could run through barbed wire without completely dying. And in one of the recent updates, they actually went ahead and buffed it to make it a little bit easier to deal with those SG-12 shotgun strobe light abusers. As you can see right here, it'll drag my crosshairs over when the guy goes back and forth, so I still have that aim assist. And all that's pretty detailed within the description, but there's one area they get wrong, and that's when they went ahead and made it so Flak Jacket was able to counter the reactor core. They never changed it on the tac mask. And as you can see right here, I still take a ton of damage and it is not reduced when I get hit with this reactor core. I did go ahead and message the developers on Twitter, so hopefully they'll be able to recognize that and maybe just update the text or fix it so it actually applies to the reactor core. So that's going to bring us to the number 1 perk in my opinion, and that is Flak Jacket, because there are over 20 ways that can actually prevent a death. So the first way it's going to help is it'll prevent a mesh mine death. A lot of times when I'm on a long streak, this will end my streak if I'm not paying attention. Next up, the second way is going to be the War Machine. You could actually take 3 of these things without being direct impacted. Obviously, if you get direct impacted, you will die, but this will prevent a lot of those ricochet deaths that happen where the enemy is actually hitting your teammates. The third way is going to be the cluster nade. If it hits close to you but not actually on you, you can actually survive the blast. If it gets directly impacted on you, obviously you're going to die, because that's the way it's worked in pretty much any Call of Duty with one of the sticky nades. If we go ahead and move on to the Sparrow, we're going to notice the same behavior that we saw with the War Machine. If they hit near me, I'm able to survive a couple of them, but if I get direct impacted, obviously I'm going to die. You see right there, they take a considerable amount of damage. So if they're spamming it, more than likely you're going to die. But if they're trying to get you and you're inside a building or whatever the case is, Flak Jacket's going to help you out quite a bit so you can actually move to a different part of the room and survive. Right there, obviously you die. Look at the barricade. You can just run all the way around through the barricade. That's number 5, the reasons why you want to run Flak Jacket. Because sometimes it's going to be positioned away, maybe you don't hear it, or you need to come around a corner. And as long as you're not getting damaged in another way, you're pretty much going to be able to walk away from this barricade even if you didn't know exactly where it was. And then it turns the reactor core into a joke. We saw how it worked with tac mask. As I walk up, taking very little damage, I can walk right up, melee him, kill him, and that is a huge plus. It also helps out with the purifier. A lot of times you're going to die instantly if you get hit with the purifier. This doesn't quite help as much, but it does at least give you a fighting chance where you can kind of walk up, take a little bit of damage, get a couple hit markers, and get the opportunity to stop the person using the purifier. Next up is the launcher. A lot of times people are trying to get their launcher challenges. This helps out significantly because without a direct impact, you will be able to survive this. And that is whether they have high explosives on or not. And this makes it so they have to be a little bit more skillful. They can't just spam the rockets near you and you're going to die. You'll be able to pretty much kill them every single time if you're running Flak Jacket and they don't direct impact. You can see the standard nade there at number 9 allows you to survive that. Even if it hits you at your feet, you're still going to be pretty good. Molotov. You can stand in a Molotov for a pretty good amount of time. The 11th way is if a car blows up near you, you're actually going to be able to survive that impact. It'll also help you to survive a direct impact from an RCXD. You'll see it right here. And there is even a Dark Ops challenge where you got to kill the person who hits you with an RCXD in the same life. It's also going to help to keep you alive against the Mantis. You could take a direct impact from the Mantis. So even if the shot's close or it's a direct impact, you will be able to survive with Flak Jacket. The 14th way it helps is it helps you with Dragon's Breath. If you get hit with the shotgun, you will have a better chance to survive, especially if they're not at that point blank range. This next one is the Hellstorm. As long as they don't hit you with the big blast and then the little missile, you will survive this. The 16th way it'll help is with the Thresher. If you don't get direct impacted by that Thresher, the immediate blast will cause a lot of damage, but it won't kill you. The Lightning Strike works very similar to the Thresher. If it hits near you, you're going to be able to survive. If it's direct impact, you're dead. And the one that was really surprising to me is the Gunship. In case you guys didn't know, it helps with the Gunship. At least 2 out of the 3 weapon type. Obviously, if they're hitting you with the bullets, you're gonna die, which you guys will see right here. But if it's either of the missile types, you will have a chance to survive as long as it's not a direct impact. Also, when you combine Flak Jacket with Fire Break, you can see a considerable buff in how long you can actually hold the reactor core. Normally, when it would start to kill you, that damage slows down quite a bit. You'll be able to hold this for an incredible amount of time. As you can see right here, it kind of burns off. Then once you start taking damage, it goes very slow compared to how you'd normally see it if you weren't running Flak Jacket. And to show you that real quick, because you die considerably faster, here's a quick peek at that. And on top of that, I'm sure most of you experienced that delay between getting burned and being able to heal. The Flak Jacket will solve that problem as well. The 21st way Flak Jacket keeps you alive is against the new Stingray Operator mod. As long as you do not get a headshot at very close range, you'll be able to survive that damage. Without Flak Jacket, you're pretty much guaranteed dead if you're getting hit with this Operator mod. Guaranteed the most broken thing available in the game. And the 22nd way Flak Jacket will keep you alive is surviving a dart at very close range. If you get directly impacted by the dart, you're gonna die, but as you can see right here, you can take a lot of damage, but you won't die by that dart. So let me know down in the comment section, did your top 5 perks change at all? If you enjoyed the video, please remember to hit that like button. If you're brand new here and would like to find your way back, make sure you hit that red subscribe button, turning it to gray with notifications on by ringing that bell. Do appreciate all the support on the channel. Thank you for watching. As always, have a great day.